Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Sunday. Sunday sermon, Sunday. It's Sunday. The 18th. So, what I thought I'd talk about today is how to reinvest or how to invest in yourself over the long term. And it's always been kind of a fun thing for me to do. But, be right back. Alright, so what are we talking about today? I'm talking about how to, what's the right way to put it? When times are good, you tuck things away, per se. Let's just put it out there and just say what it is. Alright, so when I took the business from nothing to almost $1 million, I didn't change my lifestyle. I, like Amos, kind of sat in our old ways. And I didn't feel the need to have all these brand new this and brand new that. I was content with just being me with what I had. Now, was the extra money nice to play around with? Yeah. But what I would do is I would take that extra money, instead of just throwing it to the wind. I never went on vacations and stuff like that. I'd reinvest it into property, equipment, cattle. You name it. If I thought I could make $1 at it, $1 more than I invested in it, I did it. And I've always been that wheeler dealer since I was a kid. And probably many of you guys out there are the same way, and gals. I know some gals that are wicked wheeler dealers. And all I can think of is that show that you watch where the guy, you have two different guys, the one with Tourette's and the other one that they work together, and they start off with like a softball and they end up with a golf cart or a inboard boat or camper or what have you. They just keep trading, and they use Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. But that kind of reminds me of me. I would take and I would invest in something that wasn't expensive, and I might do a little tinkering with it, and then I would swap that to something better. Do a little bit of work to swap it for something better. So every time I did the swap, the value of the piece of equipment that I had, or property, or what have you, kept increasing, right? It was reinvesting back into investments. See, I know a lot of people that make a lot of money, and they have nothing to show for it. They're basically renting their big homes, leasing all their vehicles, and going to the most expensive restaurants and extravaganzas and everything. But in the end, what do you have in your column over here of worthwhile investments, stuff that will grow over time? Think about it as your 401k if you want. What have you accumulated in the last 20, 30 years in wealth? See, I never invest. I I laugh because it's a trust thing. I'll be honest with you. I don't invest in the stock market. I don't invest in what other people are doing. I invest in me. And that way, if the deal goes sour, I gotta look in that mirror and say, you did it. Somebody else, all right? But that's the way I've always been. And I can give you a few examples of that. Now, I bought this John Deere. It was a 2140. And it had a loader on it. But the guy was moving, and he wanted us to do a quick service on it and see if we could fix a leaking loader seal. I said, okay. So, and he also had a lawnmower he wanted fixed. And what they had done is they had seized the engine up on it. So I had a identical twin engine here. It was used that we put in for him and got him going. And as I was getting ready to give him the bill for the lawnmower and the tractor, I said, what are you going to do with the tractor? And because he bought it, all he used it for was his driveway. He was an old-time farmer, okay, that had widowed and remarried a younger lady and had a kid or two or something. Well, when he sold his farm, that's one thing he kept back was that tractor. And I said, so what are your plans for that tractor? Are you just going to continue using it to clean out your driveway? He said, no, I really would like to sell it. It's okay. I said, to be honest with you, I'm interested. But I'm interested if the price is right. And I said, you already know me. If I buy it, I got to buy it at basically just above wholesale levels so that when I go to resell it, I can at least pull my money back, okay? I got to fix the seal on the tractor. And we already did a complete service and everything on it. So he come back at like 10:05, I think it was. I said, whoa. I said, no, that's not going to work. It's kind of like Kelley Blue Book, but they do it for farm tractors. So we looked up on like Tractor Data and some other places. I had him sit in front of the computer with me and run through the median price range on those tractors. And they varied, from $5,000 up to $14,000. And of course, condition is everything when it comes to a farm tractor. If it looks good and it's well taken care of. So I ended up getting him down to, I think it was 78, and then I subtracted the bill for the lawnmower, and I ate the bill on the tractor because I would have done a service on it anyway. So I told him, I said, I'm not going to bill you for the tractor. I would have had to do a service on it. I would have had to replace that seal on it. But I'll nil that. But you are going to pay for the lawnmower. And then he did. So I had it right around 75 in the tractor. And it was going into spring. And the last thing I want to do is I want to sell somebody something that I don't know anything about. It's my reputation, right? So I used that tractor that whole summer during haying season. And I'll tell you, she was a workhorse. She had the big oversized tires on it. And my two other smaller tractors that we used to haul round bales with, going up a slight grade, you had to downshift into second gear. It was 4-speed. This thing you could keep it right in third or fourth and just idle your way right up to hell. She had all the power you ever needed. But I used it that whole summer. And then going into fall, I told Claude, I said, let's get some paint on her and decals before it gets too cold. So we took it into the paint bay, power washed it, all fresh paint, all fresh decals, and she looked immaculate. She looked like a brand new tractor. And I posted it on Facebook Marketplace. And I start high because I know I got to come down, right? So I posted it at 15,000. Why not? I mean, you can't go up, but you can always come down, right? The art of the deal. Ended up, that tractor wasn't listed 3 weeks. And I had a guy from a neighboring town come over because he knew where the shop was. And he said, Eric, I want that tractor. If you could hold that tractor, I've got some land that I'm selling to the Amish. And I'm getting so much cash, but I want that tractor. He said, if you're willing to hold it, I'll give you more than 15. I said, no. If you are for sure that you want it, then I'll let you know it's yours. But I said, I'm going to have to require a little bit down right now just to hold it, that. And how long do I hold it? Because I didn't know if this guy would pan out. But he ended up giving me $1,500 down. And sure enough, it wasn't a month and a half later, he come back with the rest of it to equal $15,000. Now remember, I had $7,500 in it. I used it all summer long. Through paint and decals, which we normally charge $500 for our customers. So there's $8,000. Now, what'd I do with that money? I went and bought other crap that I knew that if I needed to get off underneath it, I could quickly. But when we first started the small engine repair business, I had an older truck and I had a piece of crap trailer that we had actually held together with ratchet straps because it was ready to fall apart. And we take that thing all over the place, picking up work and dropping off work because I didn't have the money then to invest in a brand new trailer. But that's one of the first things that I did was once we got up and going and some money coming in, I said we need to have something decent for a trailer. So I bought a good used one. And that worked. What happened there? I think one of the wheel bearings went in it. And that side we had replaced 2 already, so it was a regular occurrence with that. So I threw that on Facebook, got rid of that, went and bought our first brand new one from Tractor Supply. Had to fold down and back, fold down on the side that you put mowers on, and we used that. But I needed something for the bigger stuff, a bumper hitch, because I didn't have a truck to have a gooseneck and that stuff in it. Actually, what I had, which I was driving, was a Nissan Frontier crew cab. And it had the 6 in it. Well, we found another trailer used that would handle the heavier stuff that was about 70 miles away. We went and picked that up. And I only gave like a couple $100 for it. She was a tandem axle trailer. She was good heavy. But the Nissan just wasn't the right one to. It just wasn't made to pull the heavy loads. But what I'm getting at is that everything that I did step by step by step, I didn't go out and buy the best of the best. I didn't have to. Whereas I saw a lot of people that were getting into businesses like that were buying brand new trucks, getting their advertising decals on the side of their trucks and tailgates, and buying fancy enclosed trailers with their logos and everything else. I went the other way. I got what we could afford that I could do with cash. No borrowing, no nothing, just cash, straight up. And that's how you get a business going. Is if you go out and you get all these loans on this equipment before you even have your first customer, is just asinine, folks. You know, it's kind of like putting the cart before the horse. What you should be doing is in the better days, in the better times, investing in the stuff that you know will hold its value, or you can sell it for more. And if you're a car guy, you know, there's ideal. Invest in the older cars, the Camaros, the Mustangs, step-side trucks that were from the late 60s, early 70s. Those are investments. That's your 401k. It's not your 401k if you go out and you buy a Camaro for 50 grand and it's only worth 30. You got to do it smart. You got to know what you're dealing with. You need to know the value of things. And what my tendency was, I concentrating in the areas that I knew, right? And I could go on and on. But I bought a cattle trailer. It goes behind my dually. It's a Featherlight. I bought it used. I give the guy $4,000 for it. If I wanted to sell it today for 15, I could sell it for 15. It's in that good a shape. I've got a round bale wrapper that I give $4,500 for. That I could double my money today on that. I've got 2 balers. One baler I give $1,200 for. I could get $10,000 for that. The other one I give $4,500 for. I could get close to 10 for that. But you see, I was putting the money into something that I knew would hold its value, right? And it's something I could use in the process. That's what happens with a lot of people is at the end of the day, they don't have anything. They don't have any equity in their homes because they're leasing, you know, renting, what have you. They don't have any equity in their vehicles because they're leasing. You have to just be smart about it. But I'm going to start wrapping this up here. What I'm getting at is that as you get older, you should have a nest egg, a 401k. And one thing I can say is that holding on to a lot of cash is not a good investment because when you hit inflation, now your money is worth less, right? Whereas if you put your money into tangible objects, gold, silver, cars, farm equipment, cattle, whatever it is, you need to invest right in low and then cash out at a high price, right? Higher price. Don't just let your money sit there and take a look at things in your life. Do you really need, why are you not buying a home versus renting or leasing? Because every mortgage payment you make it's that much closer to getting it paid off, right? And getting equity in that property. And if you buy the property right, you should be getting some equity already in it, right? I've got friends that, will buy a place, gut it, redo it all, live in it for 3 years, and then flip it. Well, buy another turd, and keep doing that. And reinvesting back in. And with one couple that I know, they start off with like a 1-bedroom 10, 12 years ago, and now they're up to a big, huge house with like 7 bedrooms and 6 bedrooms. Girls. So invest in what you know and invest well so that you have your 401k where it sits here. All right, so yesterday we spent most of the day cutting up beef, and I'm glad we did because we had planned on doing it all today, which is Sunday, and we would not have been able to do it. We got through, Claude and I did yesterday, a little over half, and we started around 9 in the morning and quit at 2 in the afternoon, okay, because I had to feed cows. So my daughter and her crew are coming in this morning. They're leaving their place around 7:38, so it takes them a couple hours to get here. I'm going down here just soon as I finish uploading this video and getting things started. And I'll get you some videos on that. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the video yesterday that I put out. We are resilient. And I appreciate everything you guys have said. And what I've done is I know what I have to do. I can do it with any business. I already know what and how to do it. But what I want to do this time around is I don't want to do the 7-day week, 14, 16-hour day grind to get it to this high level. But what I found out yesterday is just putting some of my time, some of my grind into that. I picked up 3 new jobs, and a 4th was a possibility, and that was in the morning. And that was all using Facebook and Marketplace and Facebook. Just let people know. So I got a John Surratt I can do a video on. Been sitting for a couple of years. Possibly another John Surratt that's newer that they pinched the bar on it. And I tried explaining to the guy, I said, once the bar gets pinched, there's not much you can do for it. For the cost of a bar, just go get another bar. Same thing with a chain. If you get a chain that you kinked for what it costs for a chain, get a new chain. Just save yourself a lot of headaches. And then tomorrow morning we have to go jack up a tractor, take off a rear tire, take it over to a guy that we know that does repairs on that, drop it off, and then pick it up, take it back over, put it back on the guy's tractor. Because we told him, just take it to this guy. And he's like, no, I know you guys, you're trustworthy. He's a retired sheriff. And he said, I want you to come if you're willing to. I said, absolutely, we'll do it. What's going to cost you money? And he said, absolutely, that's why I called you. So that's another job we have for tomorrow morning. But the other thing I'm going to start doing is with this channel too, is kind of giving a shout out to anybody that's watching this video. If you're getting anything of value out of it, or you think it's something that somebody else needs to hear, could you please subscribe and share it and like the video? Now, if you're a person that doesn't subscribe to channels, I'm okay with that. Don't worry about it. But with YouTube, the more subscribers I get, the more likes I get, the more comments I get, their algorithm somehow shows it to more people. And some of the videos that I've done that a lot of people really need to hear kind of get stifled, you know. And then other ones just go like crazy. So I'm going to work on putting out better content. I don't put a lot of thought into my videos. I just speak with, you know, whatever is on my mind for that day. And with your help on this aspect, I could also make this as possibly a revenue stream that I hadn't looked at before. But the only thing I'm unwilling to do is to change the way I do things when it comes to YouTube. I am not going to change how I do the channel, how I do my talks, the subjects that we cover. It seems to be everybody's enjoying it, and I'm enjoying doing it. And it's great just hanging out with friends. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday. I got to get ready to get back into the grind on that beef so that we can get it all taken care of. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday. I'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. I will get some videos of my daughter and her tribe with Claude and I with a GoPro cutting up meat. So on that note, we'll catch you later.